These two girls had just been kidnapped by a group of perverts. Suddenly, a police officer appeared in front of them. The sisters were overjoyed. They ran straight behind the officer for protection, but to their surprise, the officer was actually working with the kidnappers. He scanned the two girls from head to toe. Soon, his eyes locked on the younger sister. The younger sister immediately sensed something was wrong. Her face turned pale in an instant. No matter how she begged, it was useless. The kidnappers shoved her into a shipping container without mercy. Not long after, the fat police officer walked out, looking satisfied, leaving the younger sister inside, crying her heart out. It was clear she had been badly beaten. But before they could catch their breath, the scumbag brothers brought another guest. This time, it was a drug addict. He targeted the older sister. The older sister was terrified. She spat on his face. The man flew into a rage. He slapped her hard, but that wasn't enough to satisfy his sick desires. He lifted her clothes and pressed a cigarette onto her stomach. Her screams echoed through the whole forest. Hearing this, the younger sister completely broke down. But the worst wasn't over. Not long after the drug addict left, strange howls came from the forest. The kidnappers quickly put hoods on the two sisters. Terrified, they had no choice but to comply. Then, one of the kidnappers, Jed, told them the next guest was an extreme pervert, not only violent, but also obsessed with role-playing. Sure enough, soon after, a man wearing a pig mask appeared. He was Jason. Seeing him, the sisters screamed in terror. Jason immediately pointed at the older sister. When the older sister realized it was her turn, she struggled desperately, but Jason grabbed her by the hair. He excitedly made pig-like noises and dragged her into the shipping container. The younger sister cried and begged them to spare her sister, offering to take all the pain herself. But nobody paid attention to her. After a long time, the younger sister opened the container and saw her older sister curled up in the corner, shivering. Jason's mask was still on her head. It was obvious how badly she had been tortured. The sisters knew that if things continued, they wouldn't survive. To escape, the younger sister made a bold decision. When the drug addict appeared again, she suddenly took off her clothes and slowly walked toward him. The drug addict was stunned and mesmerized, but before he could react, the younger sister bit his neck hard. Seeing her so fierce, the grieving older sister immediately regained courage. They grabbed the keys from the junkie, unlocked their handcuffs, and drove away in a police car. Finally, they escaped. On the way, they saw a pair of girlfriends and immediately thought of their former selves. If they hadn't been kidnapped, they would still be innocent college girls. The sisters exchanged a glance and decided to make the bad guys pay. They drove to a supermarket and bought a bunch of terrifying weapons: axes, hammers, chains, pliers, baseball bats, steel spikes, plus knives, bats, and a weed whacker. Finally, they got a bottle of gasoline. They were ready for revenge. The supermarket owner was shocked and couldn't believe his eyes. Their first target was Freddy, the boss of the two scumbag brothers. The sisters quietly broke into his house. At that moment, Freddy had no idea danger was coming. Soon, he was tied to a table. Without hesitation, the older sister swung a spiked baseball bat and struck Freddy hard. In extreme pain, Freddy quickly died. After dealing with Freddy,